Yabba dabba. God, if we're live, it will be a miracle. Someone give me a sign that we're live because, yeah, YouTube today is on it. Oh, it seems that we are. So, welcome, one and all. Yeah, so today is the TR1000 chat. And thanks to YouTube for changing their format on live streaming within the last week without any notifications. So the new one is obviously just not the same, and it wanted me to go live on any method but my regular. So I'm gonna have to figure it all out, and it's got something to do with encoders and all sorts of nonsense that you have to figure out. So I've got it figured out that, and I said that with Canadian accent. Zoom to YouTube, whatever that streaming setting is for it, but I hope that this will be a good sound. Today, of course, we were talking about the amazing TR1000 Roland release, which, if you're a Roland aficionado or a fan or a user, then this is really exciting news because I think it's my first instrument that I acquired in Images in Vogue, and went home and so I think it's probably 1980. So yeah, I had that when I still lived at home with my parents, if you can imagine. And it was exciting to learn it, and then very quickly we heard about the release of the TR909, and somehow we were really quick to get it with Skinny Puppy, and we were credited as being, I think, one of the first commercial releases that utilized the drum machine. So that's pretty cool, but it was pretty quick. I mean, probably with just in a month or two of its release. So now I have a TR1000, and I am not so completely anxious to have a release out in 4 weeks, even though TR Garden will be out. It doesn't have any TR1000 on it, though. Yeah, I'm just super anxious to say that I guess I'll give my rating throughout the course of this video. And so the video does a fairly deep dive and also offers 4 more songs for you guys. And the nature of these songs was I got the TR1000 about 3 days ago. So the first day was like, basically learning how to get in it. And it has a bit of a learning curve, especially in the Roland world of shift and hold something and then adjust. That's kind of a world you get used to, though, in the world of just about anything. But yeah, no, there's quite a complex getting used to the flow on the unit, and I think that's the hardest part. The fun comes after that. There's some things that you at first might want to say, hey, what about that? But then you quickly will find out the answers. But yeah, I can honestly say that I'm excited to share this video today with you guys on here. And what time is it? It's still 2 minutes before 2. I came on early just to make sure this is working, so I don't want to start everything before 2 o'clock. Does that mean Remix 18 is already coming? It very well could be, I guess. So that's unique that we have still Remix 17 coming, and that's due on the 22nd. And then Remix 18 now could be, what date is it? October 12th. So that'd be a mid-November situation. So if you're aware of what Exit's talking about, it's the gear specials often, because of the nature of a little demo, become the nature of the next remix, the parts of those. So as I was saying, the unit I got it 3 days ago, and so I had 2 days to make sort of like the video and I'll say brap on it. So I kind of like it when I don't know the unit very well yet, and I'm working around it, and I'm kind of tracking just what I come across. I'll come across sound won't be my ideal sound, but I'll lay it in there anyway. So I love that about the first phase of when you get an instrument. Like the first few songs you get are quite often the weirdest. And these are definitely weird. So I hope that you will approve. How am I doing today, Kevin? From Max K. I'm doing fine, Max. How are you doing? Are you guys having any problems witnessing this live stream today? I hope not. We got Larry in there. What's the question? I think if anyone, I I think I'm as far as a Roland guy is concerned. We utilized a lot of the Roland drum machines throughout our history. Some may be able to say, well, God's Gift Maggot was a 707 with a 727 or such as that. Certain albums had the 707, like Deep Down Trauma Hounds is I think the 505. The only time I ever used it. 808 all over everywhere. 909, of course, is Remission. And various other ones. Also, been all over the MC 505, MC 909, and sort of like a general Roland fan. So as we're now at 2 o'clock, I can say, this is the TR1000 deep dive today. If you're interested in the gear, you'll get a good look at it today. Hopefully, it will lead you with an answer whether or not you want to work on it or not. But I think what we should do is just get right into it. TR909 kick on Deadline. So the whole song was utilized the TR909 at that point. I want to say, what was Assimilate? Assimilate was written using a TR-808, but obviously we didn't use 808 samples in the end. So, any hoot. Let's get into this video today, as it's quite lengthy with its 4 songs. And starting off with a song, ideally I say crank it, at this point, but here we go. Hey everybody, here we are with the much talked about Roland TR1000 Rhythm Creator. And I really have to say that this is quite the machine, so I'm going to do my best to kind of run you through it. We've been here before talking about the TR808 and the TR909 and have run through the behavior of how they work. And this machine is no different. It operates the same way with the 16 steps along here, and then we'll get into all the other details it has. This machine is quite pricey, and you might want to ask why. Well, contained within the box is 16 true analog circuits of the original 808 and 909 kits. So if you start thinking about, how much an 808, a real 808 goes for these days, then you'll say, well, I can see why it goes for the price. So basically what you have here is a real 808. And it's quite beautiful that, you have all the, you select along here, bass drum, snare drum, the editing thing. So, of course, the kick. It's what I love about it. The 808 kick will sustain forever now. It's also got controls here that you can adjust, and also assign all the controls per voice here. Now what's really cool, of course, that we have all of practically the entire library of Roland drum machines contained within this. So you've got the 909 as well. The 909 and all sorts, practically every drum machine that was ever released by Roland here. I'll just .808, 909, 808, and 8X, which is the ACB, the original TR-78 that we went through. And the list goes on and on. The 8X, TR8X1, these are with the emulations of all of Roland's ACB emulations. The 707. The 727, one of my favorites. The 626. The 707 and 727. Basically every combo. And then of course, that's getting into some of the ones that I've created already. It also has over 2,000 samples that goes on to create all sorts of elements that allow you to make some hip-hop, hard techno, deep techno, listen to the sound quality. That's the thing that's going to knock you out first of all. I honestly cannot believe the sound quality. These are all your levels here for everything, of course. Let's just say you wanted to look at just changing that bass drum sound. It's as easy as calling up the list of kick drums, or any category for that matter, and changing your sounds to, let's go into the category of kick drum. Now we can go through all the kick drums. One cool thing about these channels down here is that they are actually 2 channels, each one. And there's an A side and a B side. In this case, with the 808 kit, on the A side, we have, as you choose here, the 808 kick drum. Here we could tune it. And if we go to the B side, we can see that we've got a 3x bass drum. On this side, same key. Mix them. 2 here. Some drive. Again, the decay. The attack adjustments, phasing. The model, this comes from the TR909. Okay, so there's a kick drum that was kind of customized. We also have controls up here. And this tunes them both together. Actually, that's just looks like it's tuning A right now, okay? So then we would move on to the snare. And we could say, wow, gee, what type of snare do we want? On the A side, we'll have, let's go with the 909 snare. And on the B side, let's put a big snare. You could put a sample in here. You could do anything you want, really. 626. And you could go through the folders here. There's 2,000 sounds and samples, as we said in here earlier. I've got some of my samples. And maybe you recognize that, or my own kick. But yeah, that's a kick now. They're doubling the snare. So maybe you might want to put, you could put a synth. How about strings, or just about anything you can think of. So doubling sounds is always fun. I mean, we always did it in the studio with Skinny Puppy, in the sense that a 909 was never So in that case, we've got our 2 sounds. Let's just turn down the rest of these. We're starting to build our own kit here. You have several different ways to play and record this. And I think this is probably the thing that takes the longest to get used to, is the way that the machine is set up. And I won't go through all the details. But on an entry level, TR record means the same as what you guys, and we went through with the 808. Means anywhere where there's a light, it has a cool system here where it has 8 times 16 steps. So each one of these represents one time through this. Each one of these, let's say you connect 3 together, it's now made a vary chain, and it will run through 3 different sets of 16 steps. The one you're working on is identified with the one in red. Super cool. You can even go, I want to go A, G, D, and it will play between A, G, and D, which is super cool. So none of your variations never have to run like just in sequence that way. So as far as programmability, let's just get out a vary chain, put it just on A pattern, which is blank. And when you see the kick, we've got the kick that can go in. Then we go to the snare. How about some super basic drum programming style, and really no different than the classics. So that's what makes this great, is it really is no different than than the OGs in that sense. When you go into the thing called the shift and kit edit, this is where you can start to adjust like things for effects. So up here you have a reverb and a delay. You can choose what type of reverb you want, ambient, hall, plate, enter there. A couple more pages down, you can choose the delay type, pan, echo, pitch delay, whatever. Choose echo maybe. And then now, if you want to assign the sounds to your thing, to your effects here. Quite commonly, you can assign any one of these controllers to anything. Right now, these are assigned to attack and AB mix, offset decay, and tune. So there is no effect send up here. So what you could do is go knob assign, go like here, touch that knob and say, I want to make that knob also a delay send. Quick as that. So also with the voice, let's say you were on your snare drum and you went into the mix page. The mix page here says, you know, I can on this page, with this voice here, I can adjust the delay and the reverb sends here. And that's kind of like the master place to do that. Now to play the sounds, you would think you could play them from these pads here, which I think maybe in a future update they probably will, but you got to go into instrument play, and then these pads are sort of represented by these pads here. So yeah, there's your delay and reverb as assigned on the main kit edit page. Roland has a thing called motion recording that is sort of like parameter locks, and you can get it to function that way if you follow these steps. So on our snare track, we've got each sound can be looked at on this page, where you can adjust the probability, the velocity, the start time. Cycling basically means it will only repeat once on 4 times through, etc. All these different cool things. Probability. And then if you go to the next page and you put on motion record, here that we've got already probability 86% and parameter locks there. And this one you could So yeah, that's the way you would accomplish that, sort of like a parameter lock situation. If you're programming something like a synth sound. Decay, pitch. So in this case, if we were going to say program clear a track by just holding clear, hit the track. Pretty cool. In this case, we're an instrument play, so anything that we would tap on this key. And first of all, I would say this is where the variations come in handy. You can easily just copy your variation. Copy from A to B, in this sense here. A to B, enter, yes, sure. Completed, exit there, and now we can tie these two together and get a longer sequence. This would be a 32-step pattern. You can see it playing back and forth. So now if we like that, hit instrument record. So in that case, now we go back to TR record, we can see all those notes that we put in. And in this case, go back to the number 1 pattern and start off with this one. So again, that's how you can emulate a parameter lock in that sense, but by literally putting them in like that. You can also go into motion record. In this case, hit record, and then on the track, any track that's on will now record. There's also a super cool multi-effector for everything, and it has a choice between a whole bunch of different things. A scatter effect. It's kind of like a 7-stage beat repeat. And then we have a crusher, filter and drive, insane. DG effects looper, isolator, scatter, a shown flanger, phaser. The sideband is really nice for it. Oh, I see what's going on. Okay. There's also an analog effects section here on the master. Has a filter, assignable. Can be high pass, low pass, band pass filter. So to add extra warmth and whatever in the end. So basically, as I said, you got the reverb, delay, master effects, which in this case, I really like I think it's called the sideband filter. Super cool, much like digital delay in that sense, just really tight. There's several different types of play modes. One is the instrument mode, which you've been seeing that we've been doing here, which is this. The next one is 16-step velocity, which if you got to, so if we were programming, we can have some velocity to our sound that we're working with. Let's import a sample. Okay, let's go with the generator, what type of generator it is. Enter that, and it will say, let's go to, I'm going to go to my other folder where I've already put a loop here. Enter. That loop is now there. Looking at the loop here, it will automatically say slice on. Now if I go into the play mode where I hit slice, should be able to hear, oh, volume sound. Now what's nice is that on each slice I can go in and tune it, stretch it, so pretty awesome. This is what really I think is the big win on this, because now if you go into instrument play while you're listening to this, you can it has like a roll type feature. It also has a really really cool thing called step loop, which is where so lots of playability, I will say, on this one. Between TR recording, instrument play, of course, you've seen velocity, 16 stages, slice, and snapshot. Snapshot is really cool in the sense of when you go into instrument play, hit snapshot, we got the snare drum. Now we can program this many variations of the snare drum. So you got those, you can do 16 variations of every sound. So again, go into record. Quantize, you would just simply touch this on or off, basically, and right now there is seemingly no sub-steps for quantize as far as the depth, but as you saw, there is probability per step and also swing per step. Now, swing per step was a little weird at first because there is a master section. So in the master section, basically you go down and there's like a master percentage of shuffle. You first of all have to apply this and then go into the instrument settings, which is on each instrument. Basically hold the instrument and it will basically give you the shuffle per track And it basically starts off with full shuffle so that when you put shuffle on the master, the shuffle will be on every track. So it's subtractive synthesis in this sense that you got to back off the shuffle on everything to apply it per track. There is also direction per track. Each one of these is a track, by the way. You know, you kind of like look at that. So you can go backward, forward, right, left, random, DNK, whatever that is. It also has a start time setting so that you could actually shift your tracks forward or backward from the start time. And also there's a nudge function in here as well too. Up here you've got the kit, which you've chosen, but also holding shift. You've got easily the most deepest section that has your common settings like your gain, reverb send, delay send yet again. I think it appears several times. Low cut. This gets into talking about what type of effects. As I said up here, you've got the reverb. This is the delay settings. Pages of settings up in this page. Mod. In this case, the mod is a LFO, which is applicable to any of the sounds on here. You basically target what sound you're looking to target. So it would be like, okay, we're going to target any of these choices. This is where your LFO destination will be. So this would be the amount here. And that's the mod settings. The mod settings are also adjustable here in the under the filter with another hold. So yeah, it's pretty deep. As far as the hold shift and a couple of things here is pretty crazy sometimes, but you get used to it. Okay, yeah, let's put up a blank pattern here, and then once again just quickly go into the quickest way to work. Now, it's one thing you'll notice that there is no metronome on this. So typically, it's funny because Rihanna said, well, was there a metronome on any of the old drum machines, like the 909 or the 808? And no, there isn't. Our metronome, choose a track, and then just start playing. Turn on quantize. Instrument play, check it. Okay, the reason I'm doing this is that I want to show you this next section, which is the fill-in and morph section. It's super cool in the sense that you can have a beat like this. You can go into the morph section and say, well, for the morph, you see we're adjusting the sounds. There we go. Okay, so you can see that you can do a major change just for that one morph switch. And what's cool is that you can it kind of moves up slowly, and it's kind of cool. The fill-in trigger is also kind of cool in the sense that it gives you another. There's no fill programmed in right now. How you program a fill is go like this, go into TR record. So that shows you how to utilize the section here. And the fill-in also has 4 fills, I believe. One more thing I wanted to show you guys, I think I've showed you everything else, is sub step. On TR record, the snare drum, if we go hit sub, you can make out a variation. Sub step, if you hold it, basically you can see the variables up here. You can make like variations on what that sub step is. And whenever it's recorded with the variation, it remembers that, so you can put in different variations. So that's how you come up with a massive amount of variations and stuff. And other than that, it's the typical pattern select mode, where when you first you select the bank, and then second there's ways in here as well that you might want to go in and adjust. What we found is very important is the kit reference switch. Turn that off, and as well in your menu for your project files, go in there and also go down and turn off right here, kit select. Go and choose this for kit and enter that. And so what that will allow you to do is use the pattern that you're working on and change it through all the kits. It will change the pattern, store the pattern with kit. So you might want to make sure that you do a lot of saving. And what I like to do here is save the kit as to what you've just made, your new drum kit, and also save the pattern separately. I would like maybe save the pattern as the same name as the song. There is an accent per step applied here, as you can see on these steps here, and the level of the accent adjustable right here. That's only turned on by this knob here, the level knob. If the level knob is down, you have no accent. Of course, each pattern on here can be any length. Hold last. I think like pretty much everything that you would expect of a drum machine in that sense is typical. In the only thing that's not typical is the sense that these two have, like I say, a pair of voices on each. So you can literally have your Dream 808 and 909 kick drum at the same time, like I said, showed you, and the rest the same as it. I'm actually blown away. I am. After I got over the learning curve, I thought like, okay, this thing's really blowing my mind. So that's the main thing. So you got digital sampling, you've got PCM samples contained within, you've got the best of the virtual analog synthesis, you've got FM percussion, you've got 21 circuit bent, 8x and 9x ALM, ACB, Roland emulations. As I said, 16 analog circuits, true analog circuits from the 808 and 809, 909. 64 gigabyte of internal memory, 46 gigabyte allotted to user samples, 2,000 samples contained already in the box, state variable filter, analog drive section, and digital effects. So there you go. So my final judgment is that if you've always wanted an 808, here it is. If you've always wanted a 909, here it is. And on top of that, you don't need to buy a CR78 or a 727. It's all contained in here. So here's another demo for you guys to check out. So all the sounds you heard today are all 100% from the uh, the box itself, the TR1000. And oh, I so badly wanted to add some pads or something more. Looks like we got Omar here. Omar, are you there?
Yeah. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
yes, 73 CKLG. We've got Omar Torres live on the line
Live.
here. Uh,
Konnichiwa.
he's in a remote, konnichiwa. He's in a remote location there. Doko
I
desu
am
ka?
arigatou gozaimasu. I am being transported by my intelligent Tesla at the moment.
Oh, so desu ka.
Uh,
So,
I so
okay, so
yeah.
the reason why Omar is joining us today is he What got so excited about the TR1000 that you got yours a day or two before me even, and you were the one that kind of like the impetus for me to. Well, actually, Naib Estefan is always the guy that is on the shit. I'm telling you, and big up to Naib and Ben Davis as well. It's what we call the boys, and
Yes.
when one comes available, quick and early, of course you want you're gonna take advantage of that.
You're gonna nab it.
So,
Yep.
what do you think? You got a chance to stroll around it?
I have a little bit. I mean, there's so much we could talk about, but
You're
I think the one thing I'll go ahead and just start off is that I think has really struck me the most with that unit is the sound. It sounds incredible, and I know it's easy to say it sounds incredible, but it really does. On several levels, just the outputs on that thing, whether
Yeah, the
it's
sound quality is
the
insane.
sound quality is impeccable. It's huge. It's
It's the
got
huge,
real bottom
huge.
end. It's punchy. It's in your face. That's not even talking about the analog 808 and 909 and just
Oh,
sound voices that are in there. I'll
it's
get to that in a second, but just overall, like, it just smacked me in the face.
ditto.
um right, and then you go and you play with the 808 and the 909, and I've while I've only used the 909 a few times in my time making music, I've definitely have had time writing and producing with original 808 units, and I have to say this unit is finally worthy of being, in my opinion, others may think different, being a replacement as good as the originals.
Agreed.
The 808 especially, it's there, the snap, the punch,
Everything.
the way the snare is tuned just right, and it slaps you right in the ear. The hi-hats are got just, they sound just like how 808 electronic hi-hats are supposed to sound, and the rim shot, the clap, all of it, it's there, man. It's there. It's there.
Fully agreed with you, Omar, on this. I didn't, it's always good to say that I didn't cover the trigger element of the Roland, which is classic, but you can assign any of the many outputs to channels to triggers and
Yes, that's right.
adjust the
Yep.
rates. So
Yep.
basically, you have like as many triggers as you could ever dream of, even
Yep.
specific tracks for that purpose. And it even triggers in. It triggers various things. I saw you can trigger start. The trigger input is designed to be assignable. As well, of course, you can assign all the sounds on all the channels uh, via MIDI channel and play through MIDI. Of
Yep. Yep.
course, there's also an online app that you can do programming of sounds and work in tandem with that.
Yep.
It
I love that they brought in all of the PCM sample, and especially the FM sound engines from the TR8S, because especially the FM drum sounds I thought were great in the 8S, and
yes,
they could go everything from subtle to like really really aggressive and hard and gritty, and having that now combined with the
combined.
808 and 909 analog voices, I'm so excited to really play around with those, with combining those two together. Not that the 808 ACB sounds didn't sound good in the TR8S. They sounded great actually, but man, again, like, holy shit.
The thing
I'm just blown
Here's the
away
thing
how
that
good it
really
sounds.
blows my mind. The songs, the demos that that you hear is no processing, just straight out of the box. And if you hear some of it, like in my studio, it is just the bass is ferocious.
Yeah.
I was looking on the analyzer of the EQ scope, and it was like already just beautifully in line with like the tone and the just this natural output. But
Yep.
here's the
Yep.
thing. Everyone might argue, oh, I don't need that. I can use this, or I can do this on the K2000, or I can do this on that. The thing is that what's great about this is all the combined elements. Like you were thinking
Yes.
before, when you had a sampler, you had a synth, you're always having to combine these elements with one or two devices or get certain elements on one device. This thing, you can almost envision by way of the sampler, which I just only so far I've gotten into
Oh, and that,
affecting
yeah, I've barely gotten into
samples.
the sampler and that as well. And that looks amazing because it looks like it basically has like
No, it's
built-in
amazing.
recycle, or
On
it'll
a
just
couple of
chop.
the demos, I took loops and I sliced them up and affected the slices and then played them
Ugh,
programming style, TR-808 style with pitch,
oh my gosh.
parameter lock type of situation. And I was just laughing. I was going, this is so fun.
That's
And
awesome.
it was really, I'm glad I can display it in the demos. But so I wasn't able to, Omar, I didn't even get into the point where I was like going to add a pad or a sound that was like from the many other synths that we love that we want to just
Yeah, yeah, those will
listen.
be there. But
I
like as
left
far
that
as
I left that space open for what the beauty of those instruments that we all love will still do.
right,
But the
right.
great thing is the bass that the TR1000 can cover is huge. Like you can dream so deep
Yeah, the
on it.
bottom
You
end is
barely need
so
anything
so
else.
the bottom end sounds so, and it's not like bottom end like this bass boost, and it's just like outrageously overdriven. It just sounds pure, huge, and correct, like proper. Like this is what a drum machine, especially a Roland drum machine, is supposed to sound like. Something you said a few minutes ago about all the combination of the elements is what makes this thing so awesome. I totally agree. Also, from the perspective that this literally has the entire history of Roland's drum machines in it,
It's crazy if you think about it. It isn't
right?
samples. Well, they have the Roland perfected emulation
ACB
samples
stuff, but yeah,
from
they
all the
got all this.
kits. They have
Yep,
that, and
yep.
all of them have extended parameters. Did you notice? Like
Yeah, I haven't played with that
decay,
yet, but yeah,
decay is
yep.
like never before on anything. So I don't know. I'm a huge fan of Roland. I'm kind of gushing. I kind of said it in the video about it. There's a few things I'm getting used to as far as like the playability of it all, but once you get over that,
Yeah, yeah,
you just start laughing.
yeah. I was,
Yep, Desert Island Drum
I was,
Machine is correct, Scully.
I was able to cheat a little bit because I was already used to the 8S and this, at least the pattern sequencing and most of the workflow is the same. So I felt right at home. So like if anybody who's listening on today's session that knows or uses the 8S, you'd feel right at home on the 1000.
Yep,
But dude, I did not see this coming. I had no
yeah.
clue, not even the slightest hint of what Roland was planning to do next, or that they were even planning to do anything next after the 8S.
And you're the
And when
guy
I,
that I usually hear always the first from. Omar's always been the guy in the business that you can not only will you hear about it, but you'll get the details and the specs and user reports. So it sounds like you, like me, is a thumbs up and
total double thumbs up.
yeah, double thumbs up. I think we're in unison today. What's going to be interesting is that Akai released the Live 3 at the same week, and they've implemented a step sequencer along the top that looks absolutely game changing. And I will say that for MPC users specifically, this may be your dream come true because I've heard that all parameters on the box have been bettered, extended, and I'm waiting to hear the report. Mike Kondo's on the comments here saying it's so good, and I know that it will be Dre's choice. So between all of you guys, like I can't say I can find myself running out right now and wanting to like dive into the MPC yet.
No, but one of the no, it's same here. I'm like I got my hands full now. I'm gonna focus on the 1000 for a bit.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
one thing that I thought was really cool that I did see on the new MPC3 is that each of the drum pads now act as their own XY pad. And so you can
Yep.
actually trigger different sounds based on where in the XY position you are hitting that one
Yeah, it's
individual
absurd.
pad. Like, like what?
It's almost like overload in the sense. Okay, yeah, one pad is now four pads, and or an XY. It's like okay, this is a new level, and also programming on that level. Mike, is it like whatever place you touch on the pad? If you touch that on the timeline of the 16 steps, can you like I won't say parameter lock, but store the position that you
I
hit on
think
the
it can.
pad
I
on the
think it
one?
does. Yeah, I think it does. Yeah.
I mean, that sounds to me next level. I'd like to know about that.
I just can't wait to see these guys, which still blows my mind. You know, these guys that totally do the live finger drumming, where they just completely destroy playing live with their fingers, just hitting pads on like a drum machine. If you know which videos I'm talking about? You've seen those
Yeah,
before? I
yeah.
can't wait to see one of them do that with that MPC3.
So yeah, with the MPC3, fantastic. That's the only thing I can wish about the TR is somehow that the pads that you choose the track, you can't trigger that from that except for to assign on the TR style programming. But like I can see the guys hitting the keys on the thing on the bottom as being too close together and saying something
Mm.
like, "I need a pad that has like more sensitivity or perhaps velocity sensitive." And it's that's going to be the next thing is how do you improve an already great thing. There'll be I'm sure already there's a 1.11 update that is hugely substantial, so make sure you got that if you've got a TR1000. But I'm sure there's going to be a 1112 coming like imminently.
Yeah, hopefully, because I know there's a couple things that we found with timing that we hope, fingers crossed they'll be able to correct that.
Yeah,
But I
so
I I
let's
think
hope.
also there's um I have to imagine that there's probably going to be some more features that they'll be doing to like the sample editing and the sample engine.
You know, I love it when you really cover all the bases. At least you feel, and you've still got a lot left. So for me, the next step I'll be getting into will be obviously the triggering aspects, having fun with that, and seeing about triggering external sources or how the triggerability from external sources in. So that'll be a fun next step. There's always things that I know that are going to get more ridiculous. All the effects you heard today, the reverbs and everything, the delays and everything are all from in the box. No external effects were used. So, man, I'm impressed. I just have to.
When you played with the sampler editor or the sampler earlier, did you said you actually sampled some audio in straight into it?
No, what I did is I hooked up USB, and what's great is
You
that
just loaded some audio files.
a simple thumb drive put into it, and don't even have to do anything to it. All your files, throw it on a thumb drive up to 65 gigabyte. Put it in the back, instantly accessible from project import,
Oh man, awesome.
and just there you go. And be careful because if you hit project import and then you hit the folder and enter it will import your entire folder. So I had something like 10,000 sounds. I had to stop it before it's at
It's gonna
0% for about
crash.
10 minutes. Yeah.
Like
I was like, no,
overload,
don't do
overload.
that. So what you do is you hit the arrow. Once you hit
You
your
can scroll
folder,
through them.
hit the right arrow, and it will go to each sample. And then you can preview each sample
Ah,
as
yes.
well by hitting
See, little things like
the
that.
top
Little
left
things like
button.
that matter.
Yeah, I can't remember what the left button is called because I'm not in the studio. Forgive me. But yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah,
Yeah.
big up to everybody. Thanks for joining us all here on the side. You got any final things to say about this wondrous release, this wondrous day?
No, man. I mean, I think we've got a lot ahead of us to explore on this, and so all I could say is be on the lookout for new material coming from all of us soon with that box. And if anybody does want to get one and is having second doubts or whatever, don't just trust us. It's if you can do it, get it. It's amazing.
Yes, exit. This is Omar Torres, but he spells it with an S and not a Z. So he's worked with a guitarist under that name, and I'm like, no, this Omar, you don't play guitar even.
I want to, but no, not yet.
Yeah, no, that's next on the list. Is maybe,
Yes.
maybe one day
I
we'll
get
play,
good.
we'll
I want
play
to get good
guitar.
at it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
All
thanks
right,
for
man.
dropping in here, Omar, and
Yeah, man.
nice speaking with you. And hopefully we can see you in the future and have you back.
Yeah, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Adios. Bastantos dos pantalones. So yeah, everybody, that was Omar Torres live from Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you, Omar. And yeah, the comments. Thanks for having them come in. Everybody will always have their opinion on something. Either gel with something or you don't. So, but it's going to take people a while to formulate that. So, with an item like this, yeah, formulate your own opinion. Don't let me sway you in any way. If you already nailed your own setup the way many of you enjoy things, like whatever it is, don't slide that aside and think this is going to be better. But if you love Roland and you love, the aspect of any of those instruments, and you're like us that loves sound quality, that it will rip your head off. So, Joe Virus, big up to you. I know you're going to probably love something like this. And Mike Kondo, I look forward to your maybe video report on the E3 until we get our hands on it. But to all of you out there, thanks for joining in today, and I'm glad this stream worked. I got to go now figure out what's up with YouTube after this stream's over. Happy trails, everybody, says Scully, and I the same. And Larry, I hope you end up liking it. Have a good one, everyone.